Everybody, I do not own the rights to this song, but I do love this song. And I love this lady that's on the show today. And it is going to be a good day. So let us get a little vibe on. Her name is Miss Erinesha Medley. Oh, she has a new last name. And she is from Slick Relax Fit. She has an ambassador of fashion networking group, which I am also a part of. So I had to get the boss, the boss of the other bosses, because my boss is the boss of many bosses. We are all bosses in the business. So I had to get the big boss. Come on and talk about how she helps us become the bosses that we were created to be. Thank you, Erinesha, for being here with us.
Hey, I'm so excited to be here. You have no idea because, like you say, your boss energy be inspiring me all the time. So I'm like, let me get over here and see what this good got going on. So I am so happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me to your platform. I really appreciate it.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about who Erinesha is?
Absolutely. Erinesha to start off is me. It's my I am. And I feel like I am so many things. I embody so many things physically, mentally, spiritually. In this moment, I am super present. I am super happy. I am super emotional. And for so many reasons that I'm hoping to share with you today on this platform, because I think it's the perfect space to give you and the world another side of me, an example of me. Why you made that face?
Oh, girl, I got to get that off. Okay. Yeah. Ooh.
What happened?
Girl, I can't even tell you, baby, but I'm fixing it. It's fixing it, baby. I'm fixing it. Ooh.
We still live though. We
Yeah,
live.
we are still live. We are still live, baby, and I'm fixing this thing just right now. Oh, Lord, I didn't even think about that. Girl, I got to change all of this. Okay. Now, I'm so glad that life goes on, even though with our little boop boops in life.
hmm
Thank you again for telling us, Ernisha. And it sounds like you're a complicated lady, just like the rest of us, huh?
All the
I'm
time.
many things, I'm all that. And I don't take away any of it. I am complicated and I can be simple, I can be complicated, I can be all that I can be when I need to be that. Now,
Absolutely.
now tell me what, oh Lord, let me see. I hope it's gonna do it. Let me see if it's gonna do it. Can you tell me? Oh Lord, we may have to pop off and come. There we go.
It's
Yay.
okay.
Okay. Now, can you tell me what inspired you to start a networking group?
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. When I moved to Jacksonville, Florida, after leaving New Orleans, Louisiana, which is where I'm from, scrolling on social media as we all do, getting lost in the sauce on the scroll, it was a lot of slim versus thick happening, where it was like a battle. Hashtag slim, hashtag team thick, and I wanted to find, as I was in my search to figure out what I was doing next after spending like a year and a half in college, I was like, I'm gonna start a fashion brand that put the two together. So I took the first three letters of slim, the last three letters of thick, and created slick with two I's, Sliick. And by embodying what that meant for myself and putting it onto clothes and fashion, people just were drawn to it. They were drawn to the story and how I created it and what my thought process was, and even just how comfortable the clothing were. So, with that, I started to notice people taking on the definition of slick in their own way, which wanted for the community of slick, for our brand ambassadors, for our team, for our family, people that were dealing with things personally and professionally, but still waking up every morning with their light and pushing through. So, with creating this community of slick, I continue with the fashion and now I work with the people.
Okay. Now, I know for a fact because I'm a part of the. I'm one of the ambassadors. I'm a Jacksonville ambassador, a Jackson ambassador. But there are multitudes of ambassadors. Can you let us know how far your brand stretches?
Mm, this is a question I get asked often, and my first response to it is I really want to give that vibe of the Nation of Islam, right? Where you don't really know who is a part of it, but you know it run deep. All right. I have some people that are very vocal about their presence in the brand as being a brand ambassador, our brand influencers, and I appreciate them so much because it continues to allow the brand to grow. And then I have people that are not as vocal, people that are in a space where they're still finding their own journey and what they want to put out into the world as a part of what they represent because they're trying to tell their own story. And for them, I don't fault that. And I allow them to move in silence, but they show up for me in their way and be, extremely present. So when it comes to putting out there as far as a number of how many people are in the Slick brand, I'm not able to do that. But I could tell you what I want to do is create multiple Slick cities. And right now we have 11 different cities. And my goal is to have Slick houses in 7 different cities where people can come to a space where they know the Slick team is at. And we're running deep there. So in order to do that, I have to have brand ambassadors in those cities to continue to grow it. And people can meet our brand ambassadors by attending Slick Sunday events and being a part of the brand themselves, whether it's to the public or whether it's to themselves and just me.
Okay. I For me, I can tell you, we have a lot of events. I recently missed the last event, which was a self-love event, right?
We body painted for this seasonal time of the year.
And I saw the pictures, they were so beautiful. And because I was in the process of moving, I'm like, I missed, there we go, missing another one. But I guess I'm getting settled now and in my own USA, my own
hmm
space to um, be able to participate a little bit more on things that really matter to me compared to participating in other things, you know. Now, can you tell us how can we become a part of the slip? Can I give a little, just I'm gonna give a little heads up.
Yes.
Since I've been in Slick Relax Fit, I think I've been here, I know I've been here at least a year, at least a year. All of the things that you see me doing right now, as far as this broadcast and my webpage being up, um, all of the intricate parts of the things that we say we do not know, this lady took her time with me and walked me through. Now I had to do the work now because everything that I thought I didn't know how to do, it was there the whole time. And because I was walking in fear, I felt as though I couldn't do it. But with her grace, she took me step by step. And who I am right now and what I'm doing right now is all because of Slick Relax Fit, all because of the tech work that they give you behind the scenes. The I'm talking about everybody else is off the Zoom page but you asking your questions. This is what Slick is about. Slick is about making you slick where you just blend in with everything. You kind of you come in and people don't even know you're really there. Slick really truly makes you slick. So tell me what inspired you to inspire other people to bring out their slick.
Hmm. The complexity that I am, the fact that I know how complicated I can be, and I need people around me that can be patient with me and that can be stern with me when I need the sternness, and that can pull me in closely, after giving it to me because they also know I need the love. That feeling inspired me to want to make other people feel that way. Um, yeah, and I think at the end of the day, our challenge as physical beings on this planet is to love unconditionally. And I challenge myself that challenge every day. And because I do, I'm able to practice, because it takes that practice. It takes those tools outside of ourselves: meditation, yoga, my tarot cards, incense, sage, crystals. At the end of the day, I don't need none of it in order for me to love unconditionally. But I do balance the darker side of me in those just physical tools to pull me back when I don't want to come back myself sometimes. Really helps me know I want to give people that same patience, that same feeling. So that ultimately inspires me. And I think about other women, right? My mom, starting at my mom. I came out of her womb. She did it to me, and she's still doing it to me, loving me unconditionally. And that was the blueprint for me. And from her, my many ancestors, and even my sister circle, women like you that are around me to this day, each and every one of y'all inspire me to want to love y'all unconditionally, because I see y'all loving people and loving yourselves unconditionally, and I'm inspired by it. And I just want that energy to just continue to circulate, because I think that's what's going to help the world become a better world.
I do agree. And I will say this about you, and I appreciate what you just said. You are the youngest person that I know that taps into their infinite intelligence. Most of us limit our own capabilities of what we truly can do, or what my mom told me to be well rounded. Know a little bit about everything. So when you get into a room, you won't be so in the corner because you don't have anything to say. As according to your intelligence, as far as you know about editing, about. I'm talking about. I came to you and said, okay, I pay for this web page, but I really don't know how to work the back end. You went right into my back page, said to me, well, you know what? I've never worked with Constant Contact, but let's get this thing figured out. You went right into something that you were not aware of at all and figured the thing out. We figured it out together. And that to me is a beautiful part of understanding that the only thing that really blocks us is us.
Mm.
And the words that we speak are the things that block us the most. Because biblically, the Bible says in the beginning, it was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word still is God. So one of the first lines is, let there be light. I suggest to people, instead of saying you can't do something, let there be an answer. Let there be a solution to this
Mhm.
problem. Let there be the people that can assist me. Let there be, and kind of be adamant about it. Be, commanded. Look, I need some help here, universe. Let there be some assistance sent to me today so that I can get a solution in my atmosphere. Now, I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna wait, I'm gonna trust the process, but got 24 hours to make it happen.
Exactly. And I feel like I'm no longer in a space to, and it's even hurting, and it's giving me a challenge to pull back, right? Of always solving someone's problem, because I'm very much so a problem solver. Like somebody tell me something, they're expressing themselves to me, and I'm like, okay, let's fix it, or let's find the solution. When I'm finding that now the women that are coming around me, they have it. They can fix their own problem. They just sometimes need a sounding board or the guidance in a different type of manner. And as I mold myself, and as I mold my brand and my business, I really want a space where people are coming into, and they know, we know they can fix their own problem. Sometimes we just got to identify the problem and then support them in fixing it themselves. But with the internet and everything else we got available to us, we can oftentimes fix our own problems. But I just like the process.
And I will say this is for because I'm going into my age now. I'm 1,000 years old, and I'll be 1,000 years longer, but I am 1,000. And so when I grew up, we grew up with books. So you talking about books? Oh, I have plenty of books and I love to read. I enjoy reading. And I found that YouTube worked for certain things. And this is just for anybody that is out here and they're trying to figure out this tech stuff. YouTube can work for some things. For me Googling it and reading it worked better for me. It's okay to see it happening, but you may not always, connect with that. I'm from the era of, "Oh, okay, let me read it so that I can understand what's going on compared to, let me look at it, you know? Now, I do give honor and praise to a younger generation because it just kind of, it's like it's built in. And I will say this, if you really tap into the presence of who you are, knowing that the creator is a part of everybody, everybody has a part. So there is no lack in that. There is no unknowing in that. All of those things are taught behaviors that we kind of have to, that's
Right.
not of me. That's not of me. That was taught to me, but that's not of me.
Mm-hmm.
Inside of me, like you said, is problem solving. But it is also inside of me for me to step back and allow others to solve their own problems.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of takes the ooh out of life. You kind of love yourself more because you're not putting everything on your plate. You're clearing off your own plate, saying, okay, I can only do me, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I love me enough to tell you, and because I honor you enough to tell you, I can only do me. I can lead you to the water,
Mm-hmm.
but you're gonna have to drink it. That's as far as I can go. I can tell you where to go. I can tell you what to do. So I appreciate all of the help that you have given me. That's Latiska to Erinesha, Nino Camino, my reflection, my younger reflection, your older reflection. This how you gonna look when you get 1,000. You look good.
Beautiful, darling. Beautiful.
Yeah, you look good. Oh, but I do appreciate all that you do, and I'm talking about from beginning to end, the photo shoots that you offer to help us build our brands, the the one-on-ones that you do with us weekly that help us build our brands. Sometimes turns into counseling sessions because I know I have been a crybaby sometimes. You have said, okay, all right, now lift your head up. Let's get this thing together. Everything, I'm talking about you think of every intricate touch, and then everyone that's in the network works to freaking gather.
Yeah.
If we have a building, the person with the building sets up the events, the person that can make the flyers makes the flyers. Everything is just, it comes together and it runs so smoothly because we work and honor one another.
Yeah. And it's crazy because, like, just to hear you speak on it, it's not even the peak of what I know we have to offer. You were a part of one of our intimate calls, right? Like we create a space because so many of my slick family respect and honor me to the point where if it's an event, we all handle ourselves so much with grace, with who we are in that space. But oftentimes when things happen, people come into our space, that are guests because we're introducing the brand to them. People swallow or put things to the side or, push to the back burner so we can keep things moving forward in those moments. So, more than other people, we create a space to talk it out too. We create a private space to really address things that are on our mind, situations that had occurred. And in doing that, I'm able to keep things pushing in synchronicity, if that's the right word I'm looking for, how they are. But as we all learn to communicate with each other in the Slick family, and as we all heal from past relationships and trust violated and anything that we could experience coming up to this day, to this moment. As we all begin to figure ourselves and those that are around us, Slick is going to continue to grow, and it is growing into something that's just so beautiful and well rounded that hearing you talk about it, it just gives me chills and it excites me because I'm like, this is just the tip of the iceberg for not only myself, but for people that are associated with the brand. And it's just a beautiful thing to have watched and to be a part of and to create. And it's so much past me at this point that I love it. But yeah, I'm excited to keep growing with you and the rest of the fam.
And I want everybody watching to want you to really get into how big Slick is because she's being modest here on Front Street. We have fashion designers, we have makeup artists, we have photographers, we have videographers, we have people, tech people, we have, if you name it,
A big deal. It's a big deal.
if you name it, and you say you need help doing something, it is someone in this group that can do. I want you to understand how many people are attached to this young lady right here. They have their own podcast, that have their own shows, they're up and running in a matter of moments because at one point it was just a thought, and then the thought brought this young lady into the life, and then the next thing you know, within a matter of moments, now you're doing your own thing, creating your own revenue, doing the thing that your heart desired. I'm talking about she has helped me itemize my days. And I can tell you, I've kind of fell a little short, with distractions. And I must say this to whoever is watching. If your heart is telling you to do something, you listen to you. I don't care what nobody else is saying. I don't care if it's your mama. Your mama has lived her life. Now it's your turn to live your life. And this is coming from a mother. Your mother should allow you to be who you are. You don't have to be in the same boat with her. You your own vessel, your own ship.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go anywhere in this water that you want to go. God created you, the creator created you, the universe created you to do something. And that something is only within you. It may be a million people doing that something, but they can't do it the way you do it. They will never be able to relay the same message that you relay the same way to touch someone else's heart. For them to even be able to hear. See, a lot of times you can speak to people and they can't hear you
Mm-hmm.
because of what you're saying. But now you can have that same conversation, and because of your voice, the frequency of the words that are coming out of your mouth, it opens up their ear chakra so that the next person can actually hear, and it'll crack a part of their heart, so their heart will open up. So now it's not only just this hearing and understanding, because hearing, understanding, you feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
So once you feel that thing, that's what you resonate with. So
Yeah.
you go with what resonates with you. It may not resonate with everybody else, and it's okay. Because it's a million other people out here that I'm gonna tell you this, you create your own world. Bring your world to you. You've
Mm-hmm.
lived in everybody else's world. Now it's time for you to bring unto you what belongs to you by just being you. Attaching to this lady will help you find yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If you do it, I will tell you. Deet will help you do it.
Straight up. Look, no, but on that note, like feeling. People ask me all the time, how am I able to manifest what it is that I'm wanting or needing? And what you just said was feeling. The
Mhm.
feeling is my key to manifesting. Like I ain't no secret for me. I ain't trying to hold back the secret sauce. Like this
Mhm.
is your Krabby Patty. I'm here to feed it to you. And for me, it is how I feel. If I'm uncomfortable, if I am angry, sad, upset, I'm not in a position to manifest what it is that I want. I have to do that with feeling good. And I am going to be extra transparent on what makes me feel good. And if I have to be professional and on my best behavior in a moment, I'm a log it. I'm a log it because I am gonna return back to it. Because if I don't, it's subconsciously gonna mess with how I feel, and I'm not
Mhm.
able to manifest. And I can't allow anything to get in my way of manifesting what it is that I want and need. So we're gonna talk about it. And that's okay. We gotta take that time to learn each other and to get to know each other for us to see how we can talk about it and communicate in the same language, whether it's our physical way of communicating, whether it's our verbal way of communicating, but it's sometimes take that time to learn how we can communicate with each other to see how we can help make each other feel good so we both can continue to manifest. But ain't no secret, y'all. I'm telling y'all today, it's the feeling for me.
And then I'm coming to you from a biblical point of view. What she's saying is right. It is all about how you feel. You got to be in a feel good zone, and you got to know without a shadow of a doubt that it is already done.
Mm-hmm.
That's what people mess up. They mess up thinking that it's not done. It has already been done. If you can see it inside of you, it has to manifest outside of you. It has to. But now you got to get out your way. The quicker you get out your own way, the quicker you'll see it.
Right.
The Bible says what's done in secret will be rewarded outwardly. Nobody knows what you pray for. That's in secret. Nobody knows what you're thinking. God's everlasting covenant is that your thoughts become things. So your
Mm-hmm.
thoughts are inside of you and they have to manifest outside of you because once you become one with that thought, it's game over. But then you got to really believe it is done
Right.
and let it be so. Look, I don't know how it's gonna come, and I don't know how. I don't know. I got to get out of the way of how, and sometimes we force it. And I can honestly say, I have been in that. I got to make it happen. Got to make it happen. Got to make it happen, and not just walking in the flow. Walking in the flow of life is the best place to be because I
Mm-hmm.
gave you life so that you may live. But if you're always figuring out something, you're never living.
Right.
You're never having the grandness of experiences that you should be having. You'll never be able to attach to the friendships. You'll never be able to attach to the experiences that you desire to have. None of those things because you're constantly dwindling and dwindling your fingers and writing and trying to figure out stuff and checking your bank account and going against what you have already seen within you.
Right.
I'm like this, either you're rich or you know something different. You know, either you know that there is no lack in the universe, or you know something. There is no lack. This is where we live is an abundance of everything. No, never will be a shortage of anything. Shortage
Mm-hmm.
of people, perspectives, opinions, trees, rocks, gravel, the grains of sand. Sun settings and sun risings, moons, and forever. These things exist forever. And that's how opulent we are on the inside.
Mm.
On the inside, we are opulent. Now, teachings have taught us something different. Because now, if you go into uh, like therapy sessions before, you're born. Let me see, I got me a little piece of paper. You're born. We're going to do it like this. And as you're a child, this is you. This is you when you're growing up. Can you see this? This is
Uh-huh.
this is your brain. This is your body. But this is and so this is all the stuff coming in. But right
Uh-huh.
now, you're just an open vessel
Mm-hmm.
until the age of 7. Now, what is being poured into you creates who you are now.
Mm.
So all of the lack mindset, if you were ever, raised in a lack mindset that something is going to run out and uh, you got to save for tomorrow and all of that is poured into you. That's taught behavior.
Right.
But when you're born, you already know I'm all there is. I'm
Mm.
opulent. There's no lack. Everybody loves me. Everybody wants to do something for me. Everybody. The universe is here to And, you know, as a baby, you understand that. And
Sound
you
like
grow
Abel.
up and you kind of get away from that because you're like, don't nobody like me and such and such. And that's only your imagination.
Mhm.
Because however you feel about you is how the world feels about you.
Right.
And so if you're in an uncomfortable place with you, you're gonna be in an uncomfortable world.
Right. And like you said, it's that learned behavior. And with knowing that in mind, I think that also contributes to why I'm able to be so patient in wanting to be a part of people's process, because I see that change. I see that change happen in so many people, and it's literally like being a part of the butterfly caterpillar process. And just seeing the butterfly come out of that cocoon is a beautiful thing to see, just like seeing a baby come out of the womb is a beautiful thing to see. And people have, that programming that takes place, which brings it back to today, right? It brings it back to being present. When you can look around you and you see the people and the things you surround yourself with, at the end of the day, when you really be mindful in that moment, are you happy or are you not? And if you're not happy, being able to make the change. And if you are happy, being grateful and letting that gratitude attract more abundance to you. But oftentimes, the people that I do help, I see that they're surrounded around the things that installed that process, that lack thought minded abundant process, and they're having to unlearn and relearn, and that's where they're starting in their journey. So I feel it's my duty and my mission in this world to just be one of those people, not the only person, but one of those people that grab their hand and guide them through, along the journey. So, when I think about what I do, I'm really, really grateful. I'm really, really grateful I'm able to be a part of some of those unlearnings and relearnings. And I just tell the world, since I got the platform right here today to do it, just pay attention to who around you and how they make you feel.
And
Yeah.
I will say this about if you have a business idea, be around people that have business ideas. Business mindsets create a business mindset within you. Attach yourself to things that resonate with you compared
Mm-hmm.
to attaching yourself to familiar things. The familiar places, you already know what that's about. Your dream is bigger than where you at. But because you won't step out of that comfortable place into an uncomfortable land to receive something different, guess what? You're going to keep receiving what you have been receiving because that is what you are sending out into the universe. All of
Mm-hmm.
your thoughts are like signals going into the universe, and the universe is listening all day long to your
Mm-hmm.
conversations and everything else. When you're sitting on the phone talking about, well, I don't know, and then such and such, and all of that is going to be manifested because you're not even focusing on what it is you truly want. If you woke up in the morning and you said, today is the day that I decide I'm going to make the unfamiliar familiar to me. I'm going to start my day off with drinking a cup of water, a glass of water. I'm going to eat some fruit today. I'm going to exercise today. And programming your mind to understand I am doing new things because I require new things for a new life. I am
Mm-hmm.
walking away from this old life. It does not serve me. I am very unhappy here. I was created to live and live a peaceful, happy, joyous life in abundance. But you have to do the freaking work. It's
Mm-hmm.
not going to just come to you. You can't keep doing what you're doing and expecting something different. You got to do something different and expect the universe to reflect it back unto you. That yes, we hear you. Yes, we see what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You want that business? Okay, go to slickrelaxfit.com. Become an ambassador. It's only $25 a month to get your stuff up and running, to get you out of that. And I will tell you this, the only thing that's really stopping you is you.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that was stopping me was me saying, oh, I don't have time to do this. I had time to do everything else, but to organize a schedule for when I was going to do a video, organize a schedule of when I was going to do my YouTube live. I don't want nobody doing nothing to me. That was me stopping me.
Mhm.
For what? I do not know. But then you get him on a team that's going to hold you accountable because I tell you, she gives you homework. And you have 7 days, and when she get back online, you better be done did it. And it's not like you're gonna be punished or nothing like that. I don't want you to take it like
I
that.
ain't gonna
It's
spank.
good. It's good to have somebody hold you accountable because sometimes when you be in a lax state, you kind of just so relaxed. You don't have anything really pushing or anything that's uh, driving you to do anything. But when you have somebody behind you that believes in you and helping you to sculpt whatever it is your vision is, because you have a vision. Sometimes you just don't know how to put it together. It's like my vision was everywhere. And Erinesha can tell you the truth. It was I had this over here and this over there. I was paying for everything and wasn't nothing put together. Nothing at all. And it took Erinesha to say, "What? And you got it? Yeah, I've been paying for this." And she, well, let's put this together. We have everything that we need. The only thing that I would say is we require is true focus on what you want. What is your heart saying? What can you bring the world that is of value to other people? And how you gonna put it out there? Because some people are waiting on the camera, they're waiting on the iPhone, they're waiting on none of that even matters. Because really, all you have to do is begin to do a thing and the other things will come to you. The universe will bring you everything that you need. You are stopping yourself. The universe want to know if that's what you're going to do. And if you're going to do it, you can do it what you got. Most of us will swipe up on the phone all day and watch other people's videos. They making money. You swiping on the phone, watching. You saying to yourself, I can do it. But you got to start.
Hmm. You gotta start somewhere, and then that's what's gonna tell you, right? Like when you started in the beginning, having that knowing that you gonna get to where it is you're meant to be, and the people around you, when you start, they're gonna tell you if that's the right people around you, right? You
Mhm.
you might not have the plan, but you're gonna have somebody that's like, well, how you gonna do this, and how you gonna do that? Well, what about this, and what about that? You're gonna have that person. You're gonna have the person like, okay, well, look, this is what. Oh, okay, so let's. All right, let me help you. Okay,
Mhm.
so then that's how you know once you start, to travel on your journey to get to that idea that you just thought about in your head. That's gonna tell you, if you're surrounding yourself around the right people. And then for me with Slick, what I want to do is create that community of right people. And I'm proud of where we're at now. I think we have that community and we keep growing that community. And Christopher in the chat room, we see you. He said, "Which way do I go?" I'm not sure what exactly he's referring to with that. So you can get a little more detail.
A little bit more vivid.
Huh?
I'm asking him to get a little bit more vivid.
Yeah, yeah. If you're talking about which way you go to sign up, it's slickrelaxfit.com though.
Look, and make sure you put in LATISKA Power in the note.
Please do. Because referrals do get some referral credit. We gotta know who building teams out here.
Who
Okay.
doing what?
All right.
Well, Christopher, I'm telling you, it will be the best decision you have made. You will be inspired. It's so many. I'm talking about we have fitness people, we have people that teach yoga, mental health people in our group, and everybody, by you being an ambassador, you are attached to these people, and most of their services are either free or discounted just for you, just so that you can have a balanced brain, balanced body, mind, body, and soul. We have so many events that I can say for women. I have not been to a male event yet. I'm gonna go. If they have one, I'm gonna pop up on them and see what they do.
We working on more blending. We got an intimate yoga class this coming Slick Sunday, Gainesville, for the couples, or even if you're not a couple, we're looking for people that are interested in, we're creating an environment of finding love. So you're interested in finding somebody, then people that are single can bring the opposite sex, somebody that they don't mind doing yoga with, or switching a partner with another single person to do yoga with. But definitely working to start blending the masculine and feminine energy vibes on some of these Slick Sundays. Not all of them, but some of them.
Come on. And that's good because we out. Deech told me, look, no, she made a post and she said most single people are in the bed with their phone and their computer. I said, so what? We happy?
Right. Because it ain't always bubbles and rainbows over here on the Mary side, okay?
Look, so what? We happy?
All
Because
right.
I think you have to find happiness within yourself first. You have got to be whole within yourself before you can share yourself with anybody. You got to, you got to know your space, your boundaries. There's some things that you just have to know about you before you open up to anybody else. I'm saying be open to love, but don't just be soon as you meet somebody, ooh, we together. No, we ain't together. We know each other. Let's get to look, let's get to know each other. We is not together.
All right.
Let's call it date time. Can we date?
I need you
Date
to court me.
for
And let
real.
me court you sometimes. Shoot.
Because I will tell you this, and I know a lot of young people, I hear a lot of young people, as soon as they meet somebody, that's my husband, that's my babe. And I'm like,
Mhm.
how's that possible? That can't be possible like that. Like, really? That's like, no.
No, you know what? Like, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest. I really feel like I'm that bridge generational gap where you know we had and it's been in this cipher. I can just think about back where people, younger women were given to men, and they had to grow up in that, and they found love through the way. But in where we're at now, where I'm sitting and what I'm experiencing, the generation right before me have that, like where you're at, right? And let me get to know you. Let me really see what you about. Like, especially in these days, like the way the world is moving, I'm not just going to assume, because people out here real crazy and the internet is showing us that. But then
Hmm.
we have the younger generation where they are extremely tapped into some level of emotional awareness where it could be real deep, real fast. And sometimes they move like that as a collective, but then yeah, sometimes it's one-sided where then, our older generation do, and sometimes we be looking at them like, but then we have to see where they're at, and they're given so much. The sensory control is just out of the box right now. Um
Hmm.
and I don't know. That's why I'm working through the Slick nonprofit, the Slick Garden, to deal with the younger generation, because I honestly I'm around the youth so much and they are drawn to the Slick brand. But my blueprint right now isn't dedicated to anything under 18. It's 18. At 17, I would try to slide you in, but at 18, I feel like it's ideal for where Slick blueprint is. But for the younger generation, they need something completely different, and we're working on that. But they be all in real fast, and it ain't always a bad thing, but it can lead to that hurt sometimes. And coming back from that hurt, when you have the internet and you have people talking about emotions and judging and placing their comments where it isn't needed, and people feeling like, younger kids feeling like the internet is where they can go to express, it is something has to happen there too. Something has to happen there, and I ain't got the answers yet.
Well, I'm gonna say this. This is what I tell. I have two children, and I tell them both. If you have something that you really want to get off your chest, I would suggest that you don't go to the internet and do it. Because the energy that you put out may be a positive energy, but the energy that may come back
Hmm.
may not be that positive
Yeah.
towards you. Because you have opened up your heart and exposed yourself to some people are just negative people, and it's okay because we have to have that balance in life.
Yeah.
Everybody's not gonna be optimistic. Everybody's not gonna be walking through life with rose-colored glasses on. It takes positive and negative people for the world to be balanced. So
Mm-hmm.
once you understand that there is always going to be balance, when you open up, I always tell people open up on a piece of paper. If if you're not the type of person to really curse and to carry on, if you are, curse the paper, put it on the paper and put out every emotion that you could possibly feel and get it out of your system on a piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
Get you a lighter, set it on fire, let it go because it's out of you now. Unless you just want to keep holding on to the memory.
Mm-hmm.
You have got to let go of the memories. Remember, go into it, as you're writing, understanding what you learned from the whole situation. I did learn this about myself, and I did learn. Don't be looking what you learned about somebody else, because what you learned about them don't mean nothing.
Mm-hmm.
What did you learn about you means everything. Where did you grow out of the situation? Write
Right.
it on a piece of paper, express it, get it good. Get the bad with the negative stuff out first. Set that on fire. Then get you another piece of paper and then you write down what did you get out of it? What
Mm-hmm.
lessons did you learn and where are you gonna change? Or what change has come into your perception because it's all in here. It all
Right.
starts right here. And so once you change this, you've changed everything. But
Yeah.
don't focus on somebody else because somebody else is only a reflection of you anyway. It's somebody that you brought into your reality to teach you something. So tap into what was I taught,
Right.
and
Right.
then be grateful for the lesson because you called it to you.
Mhm.
You
And
called
I feel like some of that there's where the issue lies sometimes is people don't know how to process that, like what it was that I took from this experience with this other person, and not having them at fault, but being in the experience to understand what triggered me in that. What How can I unload how I'm feeling? With most people, with younger people I'm referring to, is turned into the internet, right? It's turned to the internet and expressing themselves, but they don't have that. They weren't taught that. Well, let's take it to the paper first. Let's go outside and ground and walk around with no shoes on in the garden. Let's go, plant some seeds. Let's even eat something that's gonna make us feel good, and let's reflect on journaling and or even a meditation, right? Those things and those tools, I don't feel like was given. And that's where we're at in that learning curve of now relearning, the things that would allow us to reflect ourselves and see how we can evolve from whatever scenario that just caused us this emotional strain. But Christopher said, can he ask us a question? You're more than welcome to. But yeah.
I, wait a minute, let me see. Hold on, let me see. Come on, Christopher, ask.
Shout out Facebook Live. We here for the questions.
You coming, Christopher?
But yeah, inputting those things that you know are gonna allow us to express ourselves too. Because I think my mom's generation probably was the tail end of that whole, what goes on in this household stays in this household, and not allowing space to express outside of that. I don't feel like that's something my mom ever told me, but I definitely know it's something that she, experienced. So things like talking about therapy isn't always, the most wanted thing. There go the question.
Trying to tell me something. Like what, Christopher?
Which one is
You're not crazy.
it? No.
Nothing is crazy about you. Can you tell us what others may say is crazy?
Ooh, yeah, like what you do or say that make them feel like you crazy.
Because now you could be talking to it. Listen, I don't know. This is just only my intuition kicking in. Are you speaking metaphysically to people? Oh no. Are you speaking metaphysical things to people that do not understand metaphysical teachings? Oh no, Christopher, I don't know.
And then okay, so on that note too, like right, uh it's like the universe been talking to me or trying to. Well, what is it saying? Tell us what it's saying.
Yeah,
Um,
because the universe does speak to you. Is are you aware? It will
I'm
talk to you. It will talk to you through synchronicities.
like,
You will pass somebody and they'll say something that you'll be like, well, where did that come from?
I'm sitting in front of my tarot cards. I feel like that's the way the universe talk to me.
Well, where did that come from?
And, okay, and in this case, right, he said a lot of things. What's wrong with being crazy, right? Why we got this negative stigma on being crazy? Sometimes I gotta get crazy, and whether it's me being alone and gotten to let out a good dance, or me, being angry and having to let out a good scream, like are those crazy things? Me reading tarot cards, right? I think anything that somebody is unfamiliar with, they will call crazy. Like my nephew used to have imaginary friends. I haven't seen him talk to his imaginary friends lately, but growing up, he had imaginary friends. And I thought it was the coolest thing. Like, I'm like, who are you talking to? So what is the problem with being crazy? And do you feel crazy? Well, bring it back to yourself. How do you feel about what it is that you're trying to express and communicate? And if those people around you can't receive what it is that you're trying to express and communicate without placing judgment, that goes back to acknowledging your surroundings and making a change if you're not happy, or keeping it the same if you are, you know?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. When I was a little girl, I had an invisible friend, which I know now is not. They weren't. They were invisible to the people who consciousness could not perceive it. And even now, this little lady here still sees those same entities that she saw. So there's nothing crazy about being open and being able to perceive things on spiritual levels that other people have closed their perception to. And see, that's another thing that we do. We are taught. That's also a learned thing. No, don't tell nobody that you see this, or no, don't tell nobody this, and it kind of closes you off from your natural abilities and your natural gifts that were given to you. Spiritual gifts come in a multitude of ways. Some people mediums, some people um, dance, some people sing because of the frequency and the vibration that comes through their voice, heals. Some people write raps. Healing comes in many forms and fashions. But usually, when you hear the word healing, you think healing is something uh, like a band aid. You know what I'm saying? No, healing comes in so many ways. The universe is an unlimited universe. All things are possible. All things are possible. So you can be healed literally. And music is one of the best ways to heal. And it's one of the ways that you can kind of perceive where you are mentally too. If you are in a good space, you'll listen to a lot of love music. You'll listen to a lot of upbeat songs, things that give you life. And then you get in your way, you get angry, baby. You may pull out some plies and you pull
Lately,
out some
just
of that gangster stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where you're feeling. But at the same time, you don't allow the music to take you out of who you are. You always remain sovereign in that space. Listening to the music. I'm the type of person, I listen to the words, to the processes that the people who actually wrote the song. You listen to the process of the healing, because the more you release into the universe, abundantly I have received things that I must release. And so in my releasing of those things, I'm actually healing myself and others too.
yeah.
So healing is a roundabout thing that we all do for one another. Everybody does for one another.
Hmm.
And
Right.
we take that for granted, that we all have that ability to
Mm.
help heal one another, to give
Right.
that embrace of enlightenment.
Mhm.
When there's something going on in our life, We are the ones that are there to shed light on one another. And
Right.
that's the children can do it, grandparents can do it, your best friend can do it. You know, you're down and out, and you're going through something, you call your best friend and they got that light to shine on your situation. That's a
Mm.
healing process that you even attach to someone that can pour into you positivity, optimism, and they can allow you to see things differently. So, Christopher, if that is what you are talking about, if you are an optimistic person that knows how to heal, a lot of people don't know how to receive that.
Yeah. And it comes in the form of communication. I think about it like languages. Sometimes when you're trying to communicate with somebody that speak a different language, it's hard to get the message across, whether it's giving the message or receiving the message, because we simply speak a different language, whether it's the physical ways in which we handle ourselves or, the verbal ones. But when you're trying to communicate with somebody, I think is really again worth evaluating if this person that's calling me crazy is normally somebody that is pouring into you. When I lead with unconditional love, I want to be patient with the way we're trying to learn to communicate with each other. And that's simply not taking it personal that you just called me crazy when I'm trying to express my thought process with you. Um, I'm not gonna take that personal, but this is how you made me feel when you did. And then hopefully through sparking that hard conversation, which oftentimes have to happen, we can come to some type of understanding after we both laid out our boundaries and then be able to grow within our communication and things get better. And if things aren't getting better, then again, we either got to keep revisiting this hard conversation and it's going to keep getting better, or maybe we got to take some time. And just taking some time don't have to be forever. It could be for an hour. It could be just take a walk up the street. It could be for a week or a month. It don't have to be forever if you genuinely feel like this is a person that's good for you, for your spirit, for your mental, for whatever it is that you got going on. But yeah, allowing yourself to heal is acknowledging how you feel, communicating how you feel, and then being able to move on in a better headspace without holding on to it because you healed and you released. Now, once I release, I can continue to love unconditionally, whether it's with that person that hurt me or with somebody new, you know?
And I would say, I'm gonna tell you this. This is old school talking. If you walked away from it, you already know what it is. So there's no need to turn around and put yourself through that again. Learn what you needed to learn and proceed. It's like driving a car. You don't drive in reverse. You only go in reverse every now and then. You go forward in life. Don't keep going back to the same thing that hurt you. And don't keep trying to rework yourself to fit into a puzzle that was not meant for you in the first place. That's old school.
And see, us new school people, we keep trying to figure out how to build. And because I'm one of those people, right? I grew up moving around different places. So I don't have those friendships and those relationships that are like child, like my husband, he has people in his life that he grew up with since he was a little baby. And I'm like, I don't got that. But what I do have is people that I've cultivated relationships with throughout the years. And sometimes, we be button heads, different of opinions, still learning to communicate with each other and have had to walk away. And some of them, right, haven't rekindled, release, let go. If they come back, my heart is open to receive. But if not, it is what it is. But for the ones that have came back around, I've had to approach it with what I've learned and evaluated in the past, but still with an open heart, open mind. And, you know, I don't know, still trying to figure it out myself, but I know how to evaluate what makes me feel good and what don't. And I'm able to leave what don't and take what I do need. And sometimes it involves being selfish. Selfish is another thing I think people need to get comfortable with when we're talking about healing and being in a spiritual and mental and physical healthy space. Sometimes you have to be selfish and take what you need in a moment or in a time frame to make sure you good.
And now a lot I tell people that all the time. If you have got to take care of you. And the
Mm-hmm.
Bible verse that does it for me is, I think it's Revelations 21. I have seen your tribulations and your poverty, because of the things that we put ourselves in. And again, if I just get you to remind yourself on everything that you do, God, the creator, the source of my life, the substance of my being, is a part of me. So as I suffer, guess who else is watching it?
Mm-hmm.
We weren't created to suffer.
Mm-hmm.
We were created to love. We were created to be compassionate, understanding, walk in peace, in a peaceful path with one another. Agree to disagree and walk away. But that does not make you a bad, awful person because you are protecting your space,
Mm-hmm.
your being, your sanity. This is your life. All of these things should matter to you, if nobody else. And when you go to sleep at night, make sure you thank the universe for whatever your day was. And if you had a bad boo boo in the day, I call it a bad boo boo, rewrite that boo boo before you go to sleep. Rewrite it in your head like it happened for you. Why did it happen for you? Why did it have to happen for you that way? And what did you appreciate in it? And give thanks about it. So when you wake up in the morning, guess what? You are on a high vibration. You went to sleep on a high vibration, giving thanks and being grateful. You wake up on a high vibration, giving thanks and being grateful. And then you can see a little different. Your vision begins to change because, again, this is change.
Ah, shay. Mm.
Now, and I will say this, that's something else that I didn't even know we had in common. Growing up, I really don't have like a lot of friends that I grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
I think my life started around probably middle school, as far as creating friends. That's
Yeah.
most of my, and then we're not real close. We see each other as, hey, how you doing? We enjoy the space. But it's not like a whole lot of attachments. Most of my attachments came along when I a little older, a little older in life. And then I have those friends that, we have to say what we have to say, you know.
Yeah.
Then I know you know me, so I'm gonna say what I have to say, and I can just kind of go off sometimes. But
Yeah.
I'd be okay. I'd be okay. I'm like, but I'm gonna say it. I'm not gonna let nobody just step all over me. And sometimes people, and I will say this, as a child growing up, I did that. And so that could be why I'm so adamant about it not going on in my life. Baby, you're not gonna be able to do that to me. I'm so sorry. You don't have to
Yeah.
fight anybody to stay with. Just I did that when I was young, and I allowed people to do, anything that they really wanted to do. And
Mhm.
I wanted to still be your friend and all of that. I don't care if you're in my life or not. I appreciate you being in the world, but you don't have to be in my world. And
Yeah.
you just don't have to.
And I'm the same way. I created started to this day have some friendships from middle school, but those are the hardest ones that it is to get them to commit to slick things, right? Because when people feel like they know you or they've been so much a part of your journey at a younger age, them seeing you evolve, is a little different, and they feel like they're given they should be given what it is that you have to offer to the world, right? But then when you start to build your value in yourself to a certain standard, even people that are familiar with you or were familiar with who you was have to understand what boundaries you've laid out that is a part of this process. But I still have friends back from middle school and I appreciate them, but they are the ones that, again, it's harder to get them to be like, this is a slick brand ambassador, or to commit to what it takes to being a slick brand ambassador sometimes. So yeah, you
But then
gotta
go.
go ahead, go ahead.
I'm gonna say, and then to understand, every day, 36 billion cells die inside of us.
Mm,
36 billion cells die. And every time we have a different idea about who we say we are,
Mhm.
new cells are created within us. So
Yeah.
you can easily, honestly understand who I was yesterday, I am not today.
Yeah.
And so if you are holding on to the history of Latiska,
Mhm.
she no longer exists. And the proof of that is the Latiska that you see right here. The proof of it is what you see before you now. I don't know why you can't get that in your head that what you that's not her no more. She's no longer there. You know, she's picked up her bed and she's walked. She's no longer inflicted, with those issues. This is not, and that's how you have to kind of explain it to people.
Mhm. For
Okay,
sure.
that's what you knew about me, but then have you really understood? Have you even paid attention to my own progress within myself?
Mm.
Who you're holding on to does not exist.
Right. And it's
And
not up to
so,
me to prove it to you. I'm just out here living.
it just don't exist. And I want you to see, I see where you have grown, and sometimes we can see where other people have grown. And we want the other people to see, oh, yes, she has grown.
Yeah. Right.
Now, is there any particular thing that you would like to get across with this slick, relaxed fit?
Yes. I would love for people to check out the website, slickrelaxedfit.com, spell with two I's, SLIICK. And once you are on the website, you will be prompted to download the mobile app. Just do it. Don't worry about anything. Just download the mobile app and you can stay updated with all that we have coming up in the year results. This is 2022 year results, all the Slick Sunday events that are coming up. You can stay informed. As well as when you decide you're ready to join our brand ambassador team, it's just $25. You get started, you get your welcome email, and there's no commitment. So if you feel like this ain't working for you or this ain't what you thought it was, it's easy to unsubscribe and then just take it from there. But yeah, I appreciate you for tapping into this interview and to continue to tap into myself, Erinesha _ on Instagram and social platforms. And I'm excited to keep growing and keep building.
Okay. Now, I got to give y'all the heads up. I am Latiska Powell, your girl, the host of the Good God Hour. I am a teacher, mentor, podcaster, author. Baby, I'm so many things. I'm a bad I'm a bad, good bad girl. Let me show y'all this clip. Remind yourself to listen to, because Mother's Day is coming up, and I just did a mother's podcast, and how
Mm,
sometimes we have to take the title of mother and the definition of what we say a mother is off of her, take it off of her, and
mm,
tap into who she really is.
mm.
Be right back. All right, we made it. I want you guys to go to divinetimingLP.com. Go get some of that divine clothing. Go purchase the book. We have powerful DNA, and it's going to teach you how to utilize your gifts, because the gifts were given to you, but they were not taught to you. Everything else was taught to you, but the gift and the power that was given to you. So that would be a immense blessing for your mind, body, and soul, so you can become one with the universe, and you can get on some of these universal conversations we had, and then you can let the world say you whatever, as long as they know I'm manifesting. I can be whatever. I'm manifesting.
I am.
I got it. I got it. And I will say this about manifesting too. Don't let it be a task. Don't force your manifestations. Understand once you thought of it, it was done. And the more that you think of it, the more it becomes closer and closer to you, pushing that button to just start. How many times did I start and stop, start and stop, start and stop? If I would have continued on my journey and not been bamboozled and other things, I would be so much further. But I'm grateful for where I am, because where I am, I could easily give somebody a hand up and let them know, hey, I was there too. It took me a minute to get up and actually start running my race. I had to walk and not faint before I could run. I hadn't taken off yet, but guess what? I got my cape on and I can fly. I do have a cape on and I can fly.
I
Anisha, I really appreciate you giving us this time and this space that will last forever, even after our 1,000 years are up. This video will be up and we will still be inspiring people. And I thank you for that. I thank you for pouring into all the people that will look at this video. And I know that Ava is going to be a boss. You know what I'm saying? And I see Slick Brand going for generations. And
Thank
so,
you.
hey, it will be an imprint just for that. That this was the beginning, you know? And Ava's still going to be carrying the torch. Go, girl, go. Amen. Amen.
Thank you so much for having me here today.
And we will talk to you guys later. We want you all to have a blessed, beautiful, amazing day. Do not forget to go to Slick Relax Fit on Instagram. Check out the page. You just met the lady. Check out the page and see that it is good for your soul.
Mm-hmm.
See that it is truly good for your soul. You will be pushed into a portal called life, because that's what women do. We give you life. Come into the portal of life so that you may live in overflow and whatever is your heart is desiring to do. Later.